I'm in Pacoima in the San Fernando Valley in Los Angeles, California, and there's a protest against ICE. It's in Pacoima, on Glen Oaks and Paxton. So if you guys want to come join, if you're in the San Fernando Valley, it's on Glen Oaks and Paxton in Pacoima. There's a protest against ICE. Let me repeat one more time. It's Paxton and Glen Oaks and Pacoima. Come join us. So earlier, ICE was kidnapping and terrorizing the Mexican community, kidnapping people in Pacoima, San Fernando, Silmar. So it was actually earlier that they were over here targeting Mexicans and stuff like that. And so people came out and protest today, and they're not okay with what's going on out here. ICE is terrorizing the Mexican community by kidnapping people, and they're actually going out of their legalities. A lot of times there's video footage of they're stepping out of, they're going after people without a judicial warrant, and even in the private sphere. So if you guys don't know, ICE cannot go on private property without a judicial warrant, or they need permission by the owner or supervisor or manager to go on private property. And so there's video footage of them stepping out of their bounds and kidnapping people, and they're targeting Mexicans out here. And what's crazy is that they actually, there's RFK Jr. went to the border, and he said that when Biden was in president, most of the people crossing the border when Biden was letting all these people in they weren't Mexican. Hardly any were Mexican. Most of them were from the Middle East, India, Africa, Haiti, and different places. But yet, ICE is targeting mostly Mexicans. And you hardly see ICE targeting other, people who came in during the Biden administration. Hardly, very, very few. And so they're targeting the Mexican communities mostly because they're racist. They don't want Mexicans populating in the United States. And I actually looked into the process, the legal process for immigration, its history all the way up to now. And the United States has a lot of racist legalities, and their legal process excludes Mexicans, it punishes Mexicans, and doesn't reward Mexicans on certain aspects when it comes to the legalities of becoming a citizen, or even obtaining a green card, or being naturalized and all that. So they give Mexicans the hardest time. They're at the bottom of the totem pole, right? But they give everybody else an easier time, a quicker process. And a lot of other peoples are even given political asylum and all kinds of stuff, perks and financial support, free education, all kinds of stuff. But Mexicans, we've been here for the longest. Our people have been here the longest. We've been working the fields, building the infrastructure of the United States, building the construction workers, building the agricultural system, doing a lot of the labor that has built the infrastructure of the United States. But yet they're treated as foreigners, right? You're treated, and what happens, the United States uses Mexicans. Sometimes when they're in need, they'll call them, hey, we need you to come work. After they're finished building their infrastructure, they kick them out. And then again, oh, we need you to come do some work. And then after they're finished with them, they kick them out again. It's a back and forth tug of war throughout history. And even Chicanos in the past, the ones even out here born in the United States, there's a history where they were deporting Chicanos too. Ever since the United States invaded the lands out here where Mexicans populated, ever since the Anglos invaded out here, they set up a system of inequality, exploitation, discrimination. They took Mexicans, they kicked them off their land. There's a history of them. They were lynching Mexicans, right? They're using the law to push them off their land. They're using their legalities to promote their white supremacy, right? So we can't allow ICE out here harassing and terrorizing our Mexican communities. Where they're claiming that they're going after criminals. Most of them are not criminals. They're just going around, driving around, trying to kidnap people, and they're doing it to a lot of hard-working Mexicans out here. And there's video footage that they're getting Mexican workers and capturing them and kidnapping them, and so they're harassing the Mexican community. So, and also the Central Americans as well. So we have solidarity over here. We've got Mexicans, Central Americans, and other people over here protesting out here in the San Fernando Valley in Pacoima. So if you want to come join, you have a constitutional right to protest and disagree with what's going on out here. Okay? And also know your rights. ICE cannot go on private property without a judicial warrant or without the owner's approval, the supervisor or manager's approval. If they don't have any of those, they cannot come on private property. They cannot barge in your home without that. Just let you guys know, okay? So, anyways, I'm gonna turn. Let me turn this around. just came in watching this, I'm over here in the San Fernando Valley, Los Angeles, California. We're at a protest. I'm at a protest. They're protesting ICE because earlier ICE was going around harassing the Mexican community and kidnapping people, old people, hardworking people, not criminals, just going randomly and just kidnapping people. And they're harassing the Mexican community out here. So now everyone gathered and they're protesting this. They're seeing what's going on out here. And I suggest if you're Chicano, you're brown out here, start organizing. If you see ICE in your community, start warning people around you and let them know ICE is in the community. Create signs. I just saw a sign earlier on the sidewalk where it says ICE is in the area. Go home, right? Have it in Spanish and English, right? Yeah, basically tell them to go home, and if you just warn people, pass out flyers, about their rights, a lot of people don't know their rights out here. ICE cannot go in on private property without a judicial warrant or without the owner's approval. So let people know, and you have a right to be silent as well, and to an attorney. Get a hold of a civil rights attorney, not one of those attorneys that are free at the court or the court provides, but find a civil rights attorney, and they can definitely help you more than those other attorneys that don't work in your favor. So again, start warning the Mexican community, the brown community out here. Spread the word and pass out flyers. Let them know ICE is in your neighborhood. If you see them in your neighborhood, start making videos of them and post it on your social media. Let people know that ICE is in your community, right? So that it's enough harassment, right? They're harassing the Mexican community out here, and it's unfortunate what's happening out here, So, anyways, and by the way, I'm a conservative, and I don't like what's going on out here, I don't like that. Okay, so, anyways. Let me go back over here.
What do we want?
That looked like the dog was driving. Let me see your sign. That's a good one. I like it. Good sign. Those are cool little bikes. No more kidnapping, that's right. Protect our community, no more kidnapping. That's right, no more kidnapping. What's up, everyone? How's it going? How's it going? This is the Conscious Chicano. If you just tune in, I'll be uploading this again. Actually, I'll be uploading this video to the beginning. But yeah, let me see. My camera's a little messed up here. I kind of zoomed in and have to zoom out. There you go. Anyways, so we're here in Paxton and Glen Oaks in Pacoima in the San Fernando Valley in California. This is, let me see. Let me try to fix this. There it goes. So it's June, what is it? 2025. And earlier in the city of Silmar, San Fernando, Pacoima, ICE was kidnapping people, just going around and kidnapping people. I heard they kidnapped actually an old lady out here in Pacoima too. So it's just, and they're kidnapping workers too. And so they're targeting the Home Depots. And they're going early in the morning, and they're going to Home Depot and targeting workers who are willing to work and build, your houses, the construction out here, and they're not targeting criminals as they like to claim. They're targeting hard workers. People are cooking. People are doing the agriculture. People who are building your construction. That's who they're targeting out here. So they're targeting hard workers, and so that's what they're doing out here. So just be aware of that. So educate your community. If you see ICE in your community, let people know. Make some signs. ICE is in this area. Go home. Make it in English and Spanish. Go around, talk to people. Warn them about ICE is in the area. And also let them know about their rights. They have a right to remain silent under the Constitution. Also, they can't invade private space without a judicial warrant and without permission by the owner, supervisor, or manager. Okay? So remember, they can't just come barging into your house without a judicial warrant. Okay? And they might have a administrative warrant signed by ICE. No, it's not valid. A judicial warrant that's signed by the court, okay, and it states the name of the person that they're looking for, the location, and the areas to search, right? So, also, seek a lawyer if they happen to, detain you. Ask for a lawyer and ask for a civil rights attorney. Okay, and film everything as well. Film the interaction. Film it as much as you can. Okay, but this today was a peaceful protest. The media likes to make you the right wing. I'm conservative, but the right wing is full of garbage. They feed you a lot of lies. They tell you, oh, this is Antifa, or these are. This and that, and that's just baloney. This is a peaceful protest right here. People are peacefully protesting and exercising their constitutional right to protest and to dissent. That's written in the Constitution. You have a right to dissent, to disagree, right? So, anyways, I tell the Mexican people, the Chicano people, organize. Warn your people that ICE is in town, right? And not only that, warn them, and also if you can help your people out, Go to the store for them. Go buy them food, right? Or tell them to use an app to get some delivery, some food and stuff like that, right? Um, and teach people about their rights out here too. And if ICE is in town, go home, man. It's not worth it. Anyways, so there's a lot of racism towards Mexicans, Chicanos. If you look brown, your brown skin, they target you. And there's videos where they're targeting Chicanos right now as well. So you guys, Chicanos might say, you're not illegal and all that. They're targeting you too, just by the way you look. All right. So if they're doing this to certain people in the future, they might even go beyond that. Just letting you guys know. So if we don't disagree and protest against what this injustice that's going on, then you're gonna let anything happen. So you have a right to dissent and disagree and not comply. Let me tell you this. Indigenous people have always been on these lands in the Americas for thousands of years. Actually, I studied anthropology. Indigenous peoples of Mesoamerica, Mexico, have migrated back and forth from the United States, the Southwest, back and forth for thousands of years. You'll find a connection with the Southwest indigenous people with Mesoamerica, North Mexico, right? The Udo Aztecan languages, they have a family tree of relatives. The Nahuatl, a lot of other Udo Aztecan languages, they're all family. We're all related. We've been going back and forth. The Anasasis, some archaeologists say the Anasazi may have been the so-called Aztecs, right? The Anasazi of the Southwest, right? The Hopi have oral tradition that refer to the Mexica, right? The Turquoise Road, where they traded turquoise from the Southwest all the way through Mexico, right? They traded so much. People traveled back and forth for thousands of years. It was until the European invaded these lands and came and said that, no, you're illegal. We're gonna create a false border, a European border, and we're gonna say you're illegal. You cannot trespass here. When they came and trespassed, committed genocide, stole indigenous land, now they act like they own this land, right? As a matter of fact, they use us. They tell us, oh, we need you for agriculture to build our infrastructure. Then when they're finished, they kick you out. Then they bring you back in and out, in and out. Even Trump said, oh, I'm gonna have to change the ICE policy because the farm owners are complaining that they're losing their workers, and we can't have that. The agricultural system's gonna fall apart. Even Trump is realizing that. Remember, Ronald Reagan even made a lot of Mexican citizens, right? Ronald Reagan, and that was a Republican. You had Obama deported more. Obama deported the most. He was a liberal Democrat. Okay? Remember that. Obama is the one that hired the current guy that's in charge of ICE right now, right? So it's not just all about Republicans. The Democrats are part of this too. Matter of fact, I think Joe Biden created this chaos on purpose. Maybe it was an excuse for Trump to go after the Mexicans. So maybe the Democrats and Republicans were in cahoots with each other to cause this chaos. And and they love chaos because they create the chaos, and you react. They create the problem, you react, and they provide the solution. Order out of chaos. That's what they do. They manipulate both parties. This shouldn't be a party bias. If you're a Chicano, you voted for Trump, you're a conservative, you should disagree with this. You have a right to disagree with what Trump is doing here. So, and if you're a liberal Democrat, obviously, right, you're not going to like this, but just remember what Obama did too, right? And also Biden was known to be anti-immigrant as well, and he deported people as well. So both Democrats and liberals are like that. But none of these parties represent Chicanos and brown people. Just remember that, okay? But remember, we have always been indigenous to the land. We've been migrating back and forth. They try to cause division and all that, but we've always been indigenous to this land. Anyways, let me see here. Let me just end this as this. If you guys want to get a hold of me, go to Instagram and search the Conscious Chicano. Make sure it's the_conscious_Chicano. You could add me there, and if you want information about this whole subject of immigration, colonialism, and all that stuff, send me a message. I can send you some books and resources, lectures, and all that stuff. All right? Remember, indigenous people shouldn't be illegal in the Americas, right? All these brown people, their ancestors, we have ancestral ties to this land, including the Mexicans. Just think about it. Migrations from Canada to United States to Mexico, Central America, even South America. Migrations not only go downward, but they go upward. They go right, left, circle. People move everywhere, right? They've been doing this for thousands of years. They've been doing this for thousands of years. So remember, we didn't cross the borders crossed us, right? That's right. We didn't cross the borders crossed us. Remember, we're not Latino, not Hispanic, right? And not mestizo. We're indigenous people to this land, right? That's right. Back in the day, I used to be in the Mexica movement, right? They used to say a lot of that right there, right? We're indigenous people. Anyways, yeah, so definitely remember all that. You know, remember, and there's resources. You want to get deeper into the subject, get a book called American Holocaust by David E. Stannard. It talks about the foreigners, the real foreigners, the European colonizer foreigners who invaded indigenous land and colonized the Americas and stole the land and committed genocide. Then they set up their system, their country, their borders. They set up a caste system where brown indigenous people were at the bottom, and they used us for their labor. They used us for exploitation and stuff like that. So educate yourself. American Holocaust by David E. Stannard. There's a lot more books. Occupied America by Rudy Acuna. Get that book too as well. Learn the Chicano history. There's another one from Indians to Chicanos. There's another one called, let me repeat that because it's kind of noisy right here. There's a book called From Indians to Chicanos, an anthropology book by Diego Vigil, and he goes into a lot of stuff. But get your hands on Occupied America by Dr. Rudy Acuna. Talks about the Southwest Chicano history and how the Texas Rangers, the Anglos, would lynch Mexicans. The most, you wouldn't think about this, but more Mexicans were lynched in Texas. More Mexicans than any other ethnicity. So just remember that. Yeah, and there's tons of other resources and books and information on this subject. So again, you can reach out to me at the Conscious Chicano on Instagram. But anyways, it was a good day today, joining this protest in Pacoima on Paxton and Glen Oaks. And this is June 2025, my bad. And yeah, and I tell you, Chicanos, to start organizing, teach your history, your culture, teach about colonialism, teach about all these artificial borders. Start a group in your community. You know, meet at the park, meet at a cafe. Start a book club. Get people to watch documentaries that raise the consciousness, right? You know, it starts with the mind. Decolonize the mind, right? Because they don't want you to have knowledge, right? And they know that when Mexicans, Chicanos start educating themselves, they start empowering themselves, you know, they don't like that. They don't want you to populate the United States because they want to keep in power. They want to rule everyone. They want to subjugate everyone, right? They want to be on top of us, owning everything, all the resources and land. That's what they want. They've been doing this ever since Columbus invaded the Americas. They've been doing this, right? They've been lying and deceiving, twisting truth and all that, right? That's what they've been doing. So it's time for the brown community to go deeper and start working on empowerment. Not only with knowledge, but financial. Learn how to become successful, become an entrepreneur, gain some skills to make money, you know, empower yourselves financially too. Get some skills that are going to make you good money, right? Educate yourself too. Get that degree out there, right? When you go to universities, make sure you're not indoctrinated though. You might be institutionalized by watered down knowledge. So make sure you educate yourself while you go through those institutions and get your degree, right? But do get those higher degrees, not just a bachelor's degree. Get your master's, get your doctorate, become a lawyer, do something. You know, we need more educated brown people out here and gain positions of power, right? Gain more wealth. This is what they don't want. They don't want you to overpopulate the United States because they feel that you're a threat. This is what this whole issue is about, being trying to kidnap brown people and kick them out of the country, right? They've been doing that since they colonized the Americas. They used to terrorize natives, and they used to capture them, enslave them, or unalive them, right? Or even ship them off somewhere else, right? It's the same system, same colonial beast system. Anyways, I'm gonna have to end this, right? Remember this: we didn't cross the borders crossed us. This is the Conscious Chicano, and I'm out.